I was lying on the beach, as you can see in the photo there, summer of 2009. I had about 4 or 5 San Miguels, and I had this really irrational thought, will it be possible to run home to England from here? I got home from holiday, I looked on the computer, it was about 1,300 miles, which equated to 50 marathons. I said to myself, don't be ridiculous. Was I fit? No. I hadn't run for about 5 years. Was I a professional athlete like Greg? No, sadly. Was I the right side of 40? Sadly not, just missed out on that one. Had I ever run a conventional marathon? No. Well, my wife and mother, when I mentioned this challenge, they sat me down and said, oh my God, it's a midlife crisis, it's impossible, you're going to completely humiliate yourself. My mother gently reminded me that when I was born, I was 2 months premature, I almost died, and I weighed the same amount as a small frozen chicken or a little bag of sugar. My wife continued and said, not only is it impossible, it's totally unpractical, you're leaving me with 3 small children for 50 days. Go and buy a sports car like most other men who have a A friend persuaded me in 2004 to enter an ultra-endurance race called Marathon des Sables, which is 6 marathons in 7 days across the Sahara Desert, where you have to carry all your own kit. You're completely self-sufficient. Many of you may have done it, you certainly may have heard of it. I lost 5 or 6 toenails in the week. I lost 3 to 4 layers of skin on certain parts of my feet, very badly infected, and I was on crutches for 2 weeks afterwards on heavy painkillers and antibiotics. But guess what? I loved it. Absolutely loved it. That sense of achievement, and the camaraderie. And you do very quickly forget the bad times, and you only remember the good. And I think this really was a big catalyst for me for the next big adventure. How far can I push the limits? The key things, do the things you hate. Well, it's a really important message, this. 2 things I really, really hated. The first one was stretching. The second one was hill running, particularly in northern Spain. But I played little games, and I treated, as time went by, I treated each hill as an individual challenge. And I'd run up that next one better and more efficiently than the last one. And I think the point I'm trying to make here is, do the things you hate well. You will get better at those hated but essential tasks. And it's natural to start liking what you're good at. And I'm now completely obsessed with stretching and hill running. London looked an awfully long way away from the beach in Lisbon originally. It was almost impossible to imagine running 1,310 miles. It was very overwhelming. So, taking a day at a time, I broke down the task into very manageable chunks or compartments in my head. Yes, I kept the end goal in mind, but I succeeded literally 1 day at a time. And I never ever looked beyond the end of the current day.